How to build trust in a relationship. One of the most important aspects of a successful relationships. I'm going to show you 3 steps. Let's do it. If you want a successful relationship, not only will you have to trust your partner, but you will also have to build trust in yourself. So today I want to share with you 3 easy steps. Well, they're not easy, but they're very simple. They're not easy to implement because it does take some courage to trust, but they're very simple. And I'm going to show you 3 steps that allows you to build trust in your own self and your partner. All right. Number 1, we start with being trustworthy yourself, right? We all want trust from other people in our lives, but you have to get fully honest with yourself and ask yourself, are you yourself trustworthy? Just in the same way that you would like your partner or somebody else in your life to be trustworthy. In the same way, if not more. Are you yourself embodying all the qualities that you want your partner to embody as well? Because oftentimes what I see is that we want others to be trustworthy to us, only then we will be trustworthy. So until they start acting trustworthy, then we're like, oh, then I'm going to be shady too. I'm going to be, my behavior is not going to be in alignment with trust either. So here's the thing. As long as you yourself are not being trustworthy, as long as you yourself are not taking the first step, the initiative to be trustworthy yourself, you will always see that reflection on the outside. External reality will always reflect back to you your lack of trust, your own inner quality, which is you're not being trustworthy. And you're going to experience this as a reflection from your partner. You're going to experience this as a reflection from other people as well. So know that if you want others to be trustworthy, you yourself have to first embody that trust. There are no ifs, ands, or buts into this. If you want that behavior from the outside, you yourself have to embody that and radiate that yourself, regardless of who is doing it or not, regardless of if your partner is doing it or not. You have to maintain that part of yourself, always. Now, number 2, you have to be willing to be a little vulnerable, right? Because when you trust someone, you're really being vulnerable in sort of a way. That's why we don't like to do it. But you have to find that part of you within and connect to that part of you within that is not scared to lose something. And that's the thing. The reason you're scared of being vulnerable is because you truly believe that you have something to lose, that you can get hurt, and that life can go into a place where you don't want it to go into. But here's the thing. That part of you, that fearful part of you, is just fear. It's just based off the little small ego that constantly believes that it is separate from everything. And it always believes that it has something to lose. Meanwhile, even if you were to find yourself in a situation where something was to happen and your trust was broken and you were taken advantage of, you have to realize that even in that situation, there is empowerment. Even in that situation, you can learn so much that even from that negative situation, you can flower. You can take your life in a complete opposite way. You have nothing to lose. If you live like this moment by moment, knowing you have nothing to lose, then you constantly come from love instead of fear. And all your actions radiate that love. And it's quite paradoxical. Only when you start to live from love does reality actually reflect back to you the same love and trust that you want. So it is only because you're living through that scared part of you, that fearful part of you, that is scared of trusting and being vulnerable, that you are experiencing that fear from the outside. Those situations that are telling you that you can't trust, that you are vulnerable and it's not good. So you have to let go of that part of you, right? Let go of the evidence that you're seeing in reality. You have to learn to detach from that. Let go of that fearful part of you and connect to the real you that is just a clean slate, that is not afraid, that is not scared of losing something, that knows its eternal well-being. And you, through that part of you, be willing to be vulnerable. Open up fully to your partner. Open up fully to other people. And you obviously you want to do this to a degree that you're comfortable with, but also challenge yourself a little bit, you know? Be willing to put yourself out there in situations knowing that you have nothing to lose. Because when you go past that comfort zone, truly beautiful things happen because your actions are radiating love, security, well-being, abundance. Okay? Now, number 3, on this process of building trust and being vulnerable, you're going to have to disengage from thoughts, because thoughts from that fearful self that imposes those negative thoughts in your mind, those are going to constantly try to hold you back from trusting, from being vulnerable. And that's why you have to disengage with them. There's a beautiful quote that I read the other day. It says, "Faith is an oasis in the heart that can never be reached by the caravan of thinking." In order to access that part of you that I just spoke of, that is not scared, that is trusting, that has faith, that is loving, you can't get there by thinking. You have to disengage from thoughts and simply begin to rest in the silence that is in this heart. The trust, the loving nature of your own true self. Those thoughts, it's all conditioning. It's all the world's ideas and all your past experiences trying to hold you back or trying to make you act a certain way. You have to disengage from that voice because that's not your voice. That's just the past. That's just conditioning. If you truly want your life, if you truly want your relationship to be trusting, if you truly want your relationship to be of a loving, abundant nature, then you have to come from that faith that exists within your heart, that oasis. And you can only do so by disengaging from thoughts. So do this by meditating every single day. Only when you start to meditate can you ever finally gain some freedom, from some detachment from your thoughts. And you can finally realize that that voice in your head is not your voice. Otherwise, you will always be controlled by that voice. And that voice is usually always coming from past, coming from fear. And it will create chaos in your life. There's no other way to put it. So there can truly be no trust unless you're coming from the heart rather than just those thoughts. So those were the 3 steps that you must implement right now in order to actually build a loving relationship, which is trusting, which is amazing, which feels good. And, that's what we call a successful relationship. And that's what we all want, but we're just waiting for our partner or somebody else to give it to us first, so then we can do it. But you have to do it first. You have to be willing first. You have to have the courage first, take the first step, and then naturally reality will reflect that back to you. Try this out and let me know if this was helpful, okay, in the comment section below. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.